Where are we?
Warung Malada.
In Rantepao. Hi Cheesy. So, that's our lovely place in Rantepao. Tana Toraja. Looks fantastic. Plenty of space. That's huge. Nice. There we go. Bathroom. And that's all. Cost us 198,000 rupiah.
Good morning.
Late arrival in Rantepao didn't leave us much energy for the night exploration. Instead, we've got some dinner and got decent rest, as the new day is supposed to be an intensive one. We've organized a bike and a guide to take us to the famous funeral ceremony, which luckily had a place during our visit here.
Hello. That's our Mr. Aru.
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi.
Apa kabar?
Baik.
Baik. Okay.
You speak Indonesian?
A little bit. I'm learning.
Okay, so that's the beginning of our journey. We took the bikes. We're getting to see the killing buffalo. It's gonna be funeral ceremony in Tana Toraja. We'll see, something interesting, guys.
What did you buy?
Water and cigarettes. We're gonna give some donation. Well, they smoke a lot here.
So this is megalith stones.
Megalithic stone.
Funeral field for the Nobel class. The local government staff register the name of the guest where they're from.
I see.
They bring pigs or buffalo as a donation. They have to pay the tax of the pig to the government. And then the master of ceremony must introduce the name of the guest where they're from. And the guests will be allowed to do procession. And then families of the dead will receive the guests traditionally. There's some building up there, yeah? And the pigs there, the donation from the new guests. So the guests, they have to sit first inside, and then they can move to the temporary buildings when they have.
Over here, this buildings,
Yeah, this is rice barn, special building. For storing the rice, there's a ceremony like this. The important people must sit in front, yeah?
Oh, okay.
The buffalo will be sacrificed, will be killed.
This one.
Because of the buffalo is donation from the family of the dead. The close family members of the deceased, they will come to offer the cigarette and bitterness to the guests inside. They are coming from there. One guy with the walking stick, the bamboo stick, they get the ceremony guide. So two ladies, they are the grandchildren in the traditional dress. They will accompany the group of the family members.
So that's the moment they're preparing buffalo to kill.
This is
So the
Torajan cakes
Torajan cakes, and that's the
made of
betel nut.
rice and palm sugar.
That's nice, definitely.
Wow.
Cool.
How was it?
Hard, but cool.
And this one is the coffee.
Torajan coffee. I love them.
We arrive it here in
The
time.
in the right moment, perfect.
After the guests have already enjoyed the coffee, tea, the cookies, and the women association will return to the public kitchen, and then they will provide the coffee, tea, the cookies to the next guest later.
To the next guest
But
list.
the next guests are sitting in the reception building again, and then
So this one's
the all
coming
guests-
here.
and then later the master of ceremony will introduce the name of the guests where they're from, and then they can move. But this one is like simple funeral ceremony because family sacrifice minimum like 7 buffaloes. 1 buffalo was killed yesterday, tomorrow 1 buffalo, and then the others, some of them will be distributed to the community, to the government,
so
to the
the-
church.
So these 24 buffaloes, they don't die in one day. They
No,
No, in-
the ceremony, it was started yesterday. It was begun, yeah, yesterday. It was it's called Makarudusan. When the dead died 1 month ago, the dead was kept in the house for 1 month, and then during the death was kept in the house for 1 month. The dead was considered a sick person, not truly dead, because his or ceremony is not done yet.
done. So
When the
he's,
ceremony was started yesterday,
uh-huh.
1 buffalo was killed, and then after removing the dead with the wooden coffin to the middle room yesterday, but in the west part, yeah, and then the death was stated or was considered as official death after slaughtering, after killing 1 buffalo.
Oh, I think the tent collapsed.
South Sulawesi has 9 million population, yeah. 4.5 millions, they are Buginese people.
So half.
Yeah. So most of the Buginese, Makassarnis, Mandarnis, they are Muslim. If you read their identity cards, most of the Torajan, they are Muslim. They are Christian, yeah.
Christian.
Yeah. You know, every ethnic group here, they have own local dialect or local languages. If we speak each other, we speak Bahasa Indonesia as a national language. Yeah. So the original name of this area is called Toraja, not Toraja, but Toraja.
Toraya.
Toraja. To it means people, Raya it means great or hospitality. So Toraja it means great people or hospitality.
Vitality people.
And Toraja, it was given by the Buginese language. It's called Toriaja.
Toriaja.
To it means people, Ri it means from, Aja it means mountain.
Mountainous people.
Yeah. So that means the people who live on the mountain.
Highlanders.
Because Highlanders, yeah. Most of the topography of Toraja land is mountainous area. So the altitude of Toraja land, where you stay in Rantepao, is about 700 or 800 meters above sea level. And the highest altitude is about 2,500 meters above sea level. And the Toraja population now is about 800,000 people live here. Around 2 million Torajan people live everywhere around Indonesia. Most of Torajan people live in Kalimantan or Borneo Islands and Papua. If the young people have finished from high school or university, they decide to go to Kalimantan and Papua to look for better jobs because of ceremony, and then they want to have a better life outside. If somebody died from the family, if somebody dies, the dead person will be preserved like mummy or mummy. Like the dead person died 1 month ago, she was preserved by injecting the formalin chemical material like mummy. But before,
mummificated.
but before, when Torajan people didn't know about the chemical, they use traditional embalming herbs.
So now the pig.
You can see how to carry the pig.
The time to say goodbye was coming, but before it happened, I couldn't resist not to pay a visit to the kitchen and see what is going on there.
Tea or coffee?
Oh, tea.
Tea. People here were lovely and left us a feeling that they were happy having our presence during the funeral ceremony. It is an experience one of its kind, so different, but for sure will stay in our memories.
Our next destination were ancient graveyards. We didn't have any expectations how they will look like, but indeed those sites are worth a while.
Torajan people was started making the stone grave around 17th century. When they start hollowing the cliff face to make a new stone grave by chisel with hammer, first of all they have to make a square sign, yeah, like this. And then after that they carve it step by step. Sometimes the stone grave or the grave makers take quite a long time to make it, like a few months, 1 year, 2 years, because to make the stone grave like that is really hard work.
Yeah.
And then the grave makers have other jobs.
So they do like after like the
Like,
normal
they-
job, that's like part-time job, yeah?
Yeah. They are farmers, bricklayers, business people, and so on. So 1 square for one family, the interior is bigger, is larger than exterior. So the interior size is about 9 cubic meters or 10 cubic meters. Exterior size is about 4 cubic meters. In other villages, some of the stone graves, they are empty because some of the dead is still in the house considered a sick person. So they don't have any door because it's empty. When they have a door like over there, that means the dead people had been buried inside, had been put inside. Well, some of the old stone grave, the interior with the exterior at the same size, because only the bones were put inside without coffin. But nowadays, the interior is wider because of the death with the wooden coffin. So during the burial, after the ceremony, it's time to bury the dead. And then the families will bury the dead up there in the family stone grave. And then it located in the high position of the cliff face. They climb up there by bamboo ladder. And then some families open the door of the stone grave. And then the deceased with the coffin, wooden coffin, must be tied. And then it's pulled up like cathedral. And then families put it inside. After that, they close it. Families close the door, lock in. It can be opened to bury the next death if the death came from the same family. And then this stone grave here belong to the noble class people, like royal. Yeah, they are royal families. So they have effigies, like they are called Tau Tau, the statue of the dead. One statue, like effigy, made of jackwood. Minimum 24 buffaloes must be sacrificed at the funeral ceremony if the dead people have effigies of puppets. Tau Tau, Tau it means man, Tau Tau it means represent to the dead. If the dead came from the noble class. And some of the dead effigies face are not resemble to the dead face because they were made by imagination. Some of them they look like the dead face because of the Tau Tau makers or statue makers made them by having a look the picture of the dead. Not all the dead not all the noble people can have effigies. Only the noble people when they are considered as rich people, and then they are considered as the eldest bodies in the family, and then the families are able to sacrifice minimum 24 buffaloes for the funeral ceremony. I will tell you more information in the cave later. It's spectacular cave burial site there, like this. If the dead people came from the high class, they must be put like in high position like over there. If the dead people came from the low class, their families put them in the low position like down there. But this one, like down there, that one, they had been put up there, but they had fallen down because they are already old. And then the skulls they're spread around, and then families put them there. And then down there all together because they had simple box of the ancient coffins. They were from one family all together.
That was the end of our search for the dead in the Torajan culture. It was a really good experience. Well, we became hungry after all of this. So before heading to our next spot, we've got our lunch in this superb restaurant. So that's our lunch today. The cool restaurant though with a nice view. We can see it later. What we've got today. Got some vegetables with the chicken. Looks nice. I got the dip in it already. It's nice. And she is hungry. She's super hungry. And she's eating nasi goreng special.
With chicken,
Special actually.
egg, and some.
Prawns, crackers. Look at that, she. Oh, so nice. It was another factor to fall in love with Indonesian cuisine. Full, happy and ready, we moved back down the road, passing numerous of picturesque rice fields and villages, with the destination of Ketekesu, the most famous village in the area. So it is Ketekesu over there. It looks really beautiful from this perspective. Well, should be even nicer on the spot, I suppose. Let's check this out. Salamat. The next day's plan was very simple. ride around and visit few other sites of the area. However, Uncle Google with its maps wasn't much supportive then, but being positive, we've seen places we would never see. Rantepao and its people with surroundings are really worth to be there.
Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi. So nice, yeah? So now, that's the last day in Toraja. What do you think about that?
Sad, but new adventures coming.
Well, it was a pretty nice place here, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Landscape perfect, people are absolutely brilliant. And what you can say? It's a shame to leave the place. The place we were staying in the P.S. Poppy's house, absolutely great hospitality. Definitely can recommend it. Well, so good, but not enough time in our life to see everything for a long time, you know. Anyway, where are we heading today? Another lovely 13 hours apparently. We've met some girl from Switzerland. She said 13 hours from Tana to here, so from here to there, it's gonna be pretty much the same. Another lovely day in the bus. Happy days. What did she say? That did you see? Google something. Well, I'll check the name later. That's very good. That looks like the breakfast has arrived. Please get her pictures.